Welcome back to Two Tricks, One Treat, where the line between myth and reality blurs with every tale. Today, we venture into the shadowy corners of our world where monsters are said to lurk, waiting for the unsuspecting. We'll share 3 bone-chilling stories of creatures that might just be hiding in your very own backyard. But remember, only one of these tales is rooted in truth, while the other 2 spring from the depths of imagination. Can you discern which monster truly walks among us? Stay with us until the end to find out. Whether you're a returning viewer or joining us for the first time, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and check out our other eerie episodes linked below. Now let's begin. Story 1, Moonlit Whispers. Nestled on the outskirts of Elmridge, Wrenwood Forest was a sprawling expanse of ancient oaks, mysterious glades, and hidden brooks. By day, it was a haven for nature lovers, with its symphony of birdsong and the playful antics of woodland creatures. But as twilight draped its shadows, a hush would fall, and the only sound piercing the silence would be soft, mournful whispers that seemed to emanate from the very heart of the forest. The villagers of Elmridge spoke in hushed tones about the whispering wraith of Wrenwood. Legend had it that over a century ago, a young woman named Seraphina, with raven black hair and eyes as blue as the midday sky, ventured into the forest. She was in search of the fabled moonflower for her mother, a rare bloom that was said to blossom only under the light of a full moon. She set out one night at dusk only to never return. Search parties were dispatched, lanterns lighting their path, calling out her name, but to no avail. The forest seemed to have swallowed her whole. Months later, on the night of a full moon, a woodcutter claimed he heard a woman's voice, soft and melancholic, calling out from deep within the forest. Following the voice, he came upon a clearing bathed in silvery moonlight. There, in the distance, he saw the silhouette of a woman, her raven black hair flowing, her blue eyes shimmering with tears. It was Seraphina, looking lost and distressed, her hands reaching out, her voice pleading for help. But as the woodcutter approached, she seemed to move further away, always just out of reach, and then, just as suddenly as she had appeared, she vanished into the shadows, leaving behind only the haunting echo of her voice. This was not an isolated incident. Over the years, many have reported similar encounters. On nights when the moon is at its fullest, Seraphina's spirit is said to roam the forest, her cries echoing through the trees, her figure appearing and disappearing, always searching, always seeking the elusive moonflower. The legend grew, and Wrenwood Forest became a place of pilgrimage for those brave enough to venture into its depths on a full moon night. Some went in hopes of catching a glimpse of the tragic spirit, while others, driven by their own desires, sought the moonflower for themselves. But the forest, with its ancient secrets, was not to be trifled with. Many who entered never returned, while others emerged, speaking of cold spots, ghostly apparitions, and an overwhelming sense of sorrow. As the years passed, the tale of Seraphina and the moonflower became intertwined with the very essence of Elmridge. Parents would warn their children of the dangers of the forest, and lovers would exchange tales of the heartbroken maiden who could never find peace. Today, the whispering wraith of Wrenwood remains one of Elmridge's most enduring legends. On moonlit nights, if you listen closely, you can still hear Seraphina's mournful cries, a haunting reminder of the perils of venturing too deep into the shadows and the eternal quest for solace and redemption. Story 2, Black Hollow. In the remote, snow-covered forests of northern Minnesota, there's a place locals dare not tread, especially when the nights grow long and the cold winds howl. They call it Black Hollow, a dense, almost impenetrable thicket of pines where the snow seems perpetually untouched, and the air is thick with an unsettling silence. Decades ago, Black Hollow was home to a small logging community named Pine's End. Founded by the ambitious and fearless Jonathan Harrow, the settlement thrived during the summer months. Harrow, a man with a vision, believed that Pine's End would become the heart of the North, a beacon of prosperity. But winters were harsh, often cutting them off from the outside world. It was during one particularly brutal winter that the town's food supplies dwindled and desperation set in. As hunger gnawed at their bellies, the townsfolk began to whisper of an old Algonquian legend, the Wendigo. It was said that those who resorted to cannibalism in these woods would be cursed to transform into this monstrous entity, forever hungering for human flesh. The legend spoke of a creature once human, now twisted by hunger and cold, with a heart of ice and an insatiable appetite. Its eyes, they said, glowed with the pain of its curse, and its cries were the lamentations of the damned. One fateful night, a logger named Elias Mercer disappeared. Search parties found no trace, but in the following days, more townsfolk vanished without a trace. Panic gripped Pine's End. Whispers turned to accusations, and fear transformed into paranoia. Some said they saw a tall, gaunt figure with glowing eyes lurking in the woods, while others claimed to hear ghostly wails carried by the wind. The final straw was when half-eaten remains were discovered near the town's edge. Pine's End was swiftly abandoned, its remaining inhabitants fleeing the cursed woods and the insatiable hunger of the Wendigo. Years later, a diary was discovered in the ruins of Harrow's home. In it, he wrote of his growing obsession with the Wendigo legend, of dreams where he was beckoned into the forest by a shadowy figure, and of a hunger that grew within him, a hunger that was not of this world. As decades turned to centuries, the legend of Black Hollow grew. Nearby towns spoke of strange occurrences, livestock found mutilated, unexplained footprints in the snow, and chilling howls that echoed through the night. Children were warned not to venture into the woods after dark, and tales of the Wendigo became a staple of campfire stories. Adventurous souls, drawn by the allure of the legend, would occasionally venture into Black Hollow, hoping to catch a glimpse of the mythical creature or discover the lost town of Pine's End. Few returned, and those who did spoke of an overwhelming sense of dread, of being watched from the shadows, and of chilling encounters with a creature that seemed to be both man and beast. Today, Black Hollow remains a place of mystery and fear. The Wendigo, whether real or imagined, has left an indelible mark on the region, a chilling reminder of the dangers of tampering with forces beyond human understanding. And as the winters grow colder and the nights longer, the legend of the whispering pines of Black Hollow continues to grow, a haunting tale of hunger, desperation, and the dark side of human nature. Story 3, The Demon Hound. In the picturesque landscapes of Maine, where the dense forests whisper tales as old as time, a legend has taken root, chilling the hearts of those who dare to tread near the whispering pines. It's the tale of a malevolent entity, a demon that assumes the form of a small, innocent-looking dog, using its beguiling appearance to ensnare the unwary. Thomas, a young man with a penchant for adventure, had recently moved to a small town nestled on the edge of the whispering pines. Fascinated by local folklore, he'd often sit in the town's tavern, listening to the old-timers share tales of the forest's mysteries. The story that intrigued him most was that of the demon dog. One evening, as Thomas wandered the forest's edge, he heard a soft whimpering. Following the sound, he discovered a small black dog with eyes that seemed to hold the very cosmos within them. It looked up at him, its gaze filled with a sorrow that tugged at his heartstrings. Drawn by a mix of concern and curiosity, Thomas decided to follow the creature, hoping to find its home. As he ventured deeper into the whispering pines, the surroundings grew increasingly unfamiliar. The trees seemed to close in on him, their shadows dancing menacingly. The dog's soft whimpers slowly transformed into a haunting melody that seemed to echo from every direction. Hours turned into days as Thomas found himself lost in a labyrinth of trees and mist. He stumbled upon remnants of old campsites, belongings of those who had ventured into the forest and never returned. Each site held a journal, and as Thomas leafed through them, he discovered eerily similar accounts of the demon dog and its hypnotic song. Determined to escape the forest's grasp, Thomas tried to retrace his steps, but every path seemed to lead him deeper into the heart of the whispering pines. One fateful night, under a moonless sky, he came face to face with the demon in its true form, a towering, shadowy figure, its eyes burning with an insatiable hunger. The demon spoke of its ageless existence and its pact with the whispering pines. It revealed its method of luring souls into the forest, feeding off their life force and adding their stories to its collection. In a desperate bid for survival, Thomas recalled a protective chant he'd overheard in the tavern. Mustering every ounce of his strength, he began to recite the chant. The forest trembled, and the demon, caught off guard, recoiled in fury. As dawn's first light pierced the forest canopy, the demon was forced to retreat, its form dissipating into the shadows. Exhausted but alive, Thomas emerged from the whispering pines, his spirit forever scarred by the encounter. He left Maine soon after, but not before sharing his tale, adding to the legacy of the demon hound of Maine's whispering pines. To this day, locals warn travelers of the forest's dangers, of the innocent-looking dog with eyes that hold the universe's mysteries, and of the shadows that watch, wait, and hunger. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Among the tales of the Whispering Wraith, the Black Hollow, and the Demon Hound, only one is grounded in reality, while the others are mere products of dark imaginations. The true tale that has haunted many is the Black Hollow, the legend of the Wendigo, a creature said to roam the cold forests of North America, has been passed down through generations, leaving a trail of fear in its wake. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the unknown. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit that like button and share it with fellow mystery seekers. And remember, in every trio of tales at 2 tricks, 1 treat, 2 will deceive, but 1 always speaks the truth. Until next time, keep questioning, keep wondering, and always stay curious.